Just when you look at the, the box score, I didn't see it until I heard the guys from the TV saying it, but just talking about John getting 20 rebounds. So I was like, man, can't wait to see how many he gets on Sunday. Right? Like if you're gonna go out, your last 2 home games, getting your career high in rebounds is one of the ways to do it. So I just appreciate our guys. We've been really resilient the entire year, and we've really fought. But we've also tried. We haven't won them all, but we've had a chance to win them all. We've played well most of the time here at home, and credit to the Legion of Blue and the students that have showed up for us every single game. Credit to the fans from the community, from campus, everywhere else that have come. Our guys are just playing hard. They play hard for each other, and they play hard for them. They play hard for those fans, and we want to take this homestand and finish it the right way, and like really give us some momentum heading into those last 2 games next week, and then the Big Ten tournament.
Dalian, Micah takes 1 shot in the first half. What is the challenge to get a kid to shoot the ball, certain kids, and then how much of a payoff is it for him long term when you have that second half?
Yeah, he's pretty fearless. Right?
But he wasn't early.
Yeah, they watch film, and I tell our guys all the time, like, I wish they'd let me coach both teams, right? Like, they adjusted and did some different things, like similar to Maryland, and stayed at home on our shooters, right? We got stagnant and we got stuck in terms of, we're coming off pick and rolls, and they just stay at home. Right now, they're forcing Sam or Jalen to make plays. They're staying home on John and the guys on the shooters. So that was part of the reason why those guys can't get very many shots. We adjusted in terms of how we played, what we were doing in the second half to force their help. Then once we start forcing help, now we're starting to get open looks and the shots that we wanted. So it just had to come in a different way. And kudos to our guys for making adjustments at halftime and in the second half. And now it got back to how we wanted to play and what we want to do. Those guys are getting inside-out threes. They're getting drives and attacks because they're now scrambling and rotating. And our guys did a great job in the second half of making adjustments to what they were doing.
John gets the 20 rebounds, and then a sophomore leads you in points to win on senior night. I guess in a way, can that kind of symbolize what this year is on a bigger picture for you, where you've got guys who are going out the door in your first year? How does this kind of encapsulate it?
Yeah, that's I kind of talked about it the other day. Just Dalian's a freshman, right? He didn't get a chance to play very much last year. We brought him along slowly to make sure he was doing the right things to earn time on the court. Sometimes when you get handed something before you've earned it, then you think maybe you've arrived, right? And, he had to earn it. He had to earn it. He had some DMPs at the start of the year, but he had to earn it, and he earned his way to where he is. But at the same time, he's one of our hardest workers. He's a guy that when he wasn't playing at all, he goes right into the practice gym and gets shots up every single game afterwards, right? While John's in the weight room lifting, right? But he sees that. He sees what John's work ethic has done for him, and now that pays off for Dalian. So now Dalian's earned it with his hard work. John's not going to be here, right? He might. I got a petition on Saturday. I'm going to work on it. I need all you guys to sign it, and everyone that comes into the BJC on Sunday. We're going to get that started. But if they don't accept it, John's not going to be here next year. But he set our team up. He set this program up in terms of what hard work looks like. And now Dalian can carry that on, right? He's seen it. Now he's doing it. Now the 5 freshmen that come in next year, they're watching Dalian. Like, man, how did he get on the court? How did he make 5 threes against Northwestern? How did he do this? And they see him working that same way, and then they mimic that, right? And now your program starts to run itself. That's why I always say John's setting the culture of this program, because he's showing young guys how to work. I got 2 young kids, 2 sons. I guess they're not young, but I have 2 sons. And my oldest son, Braden, was in the 3rd grade when we moved to Boston. So he'd be around our team, and you just sit there and you just watch, right? And, you know, you see Al Horford, what he does, taking care of his body and getting work after games. You see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and guys like that, Marcus Smart. You see what their hard work does, and you start to mimic that. And like, that's what we're starting to do here. That's what John's doing for us this year. Not only John, like Greg Lee, you know, Jelani White, like Jaheim, like all those guys are workers. They've had a lot of success in their careers. Even though they're here 1 year, they put up some numbers in their careers. And we want our young guys to see that, mimic that, and then teach the next guy how to do it.
Micah, what was different about how you guys handled Northwestern's 3-2 zone compared to how you handled Maryland's, and why were you able to have more success tonight than on Monday night against it?
Still took us a while to get going. You know, we were a little bit slow in terms of how we started to attack it and what we wanted to do. I think sometimes we let their kind of pressure or enthusiasm defensively speed us up instead of just being totally comfortable out there. I tell those guys all the time, the shot fake, pass fake can be a threat. I know it sounds corny as can be, but that's, you know, that's what a basketball player does. He's a threat against his own. Shot fake, you pass fake, you make people guard you. Now, 2 people are guarding you, you punch a gap and then you can move it. And like credit, like we were slow a little bit. And, you know, I know we only played 6 minutes, 41 seconds, but like Jaheim, like some of the plays and passes he made against the zone, like that's who he is. He's a basketball player. Like I got no fear putting him in ever, because I know he's going to try his best on defense, and then he's going to make smart basketball plays. Right? He hasn't shot the ball well. I know he's disappointed in how he shot the ball this year, but he's always a guy that tries to do his best, and he makes basketball plays. He made 2 plays against the zone where he shot fake. He punched the gap. He swung it out. And I think Dalian drove it, maybe got fouled. And then the next time he kind of moves it, we cut somebody on the baseline. He pass fakes. He hits either John or Pick in the middle. And like once we did that, then we started really moving it and getting going. So, you know, just older guys, just sending a guy in that hadn't played very much lately. I just asked him to be a senior for me.
So John's been here 5 years. You're only going to get to coach him just the 1. Do you ever feel?
Maybe. Don't count this out. Don't listen. I'm serious about this petition. We're gonna try it. So yes, may possibly only 1 year.
But if it's only 1 year, do you ever feel, I don't know, cheated might be a strong word, but a little disappointed that you've only been here for a portion of John's time at Penn State?
Yeah, you know what? I wish I was around him more, right? Like basketball-wise, yes. Like what he does, like for him to get 11 points, 20 rebounds, and just will you to victories time after time. But like who he is off the court, like I just enjoy being around him. I enjoy being around him. Like his smile, his talk, his laugh, like the good days and the bad days, he's the same person. And like I just, like whenever he wants to just walk up and sit in the office and sit down and talk, like I'm willing to do it because I just love having him around. And you know, I hope he plays for a really long time. And then when he's finally done, like I'm gonna hire him on staff. I want him to be around me all the time. I want him to teach the other guys, you know, who are on the team, like what it takes. And he loves this place. he puts his heart and soul into everything that he does for this place. And, you know, I got 1 year, right? I got 1 year. That's good enough for me. I want more. I'm trying to get more. Remember, everybody signed that petition on Sunday. I'm trying to get more, but like this 1 year, I've been completely blessed, and I'm so happy and thrilled that I got this 1 year with you.
Micah, seemed like getting Jalen in the post more maybe helped create some of those help situations you were talking about. What enabled you guys to do that in the second half?
Straight sandlot right there. That's what I told John. I was like, John, that was fun, wasn't it? That was just straight sandlot, man. Just draw it on your hand. Hey, you go here, run this pattern. You go that way, run this. I was like, man, they want to take away this stuff, and we're gonna get the ball near the basket. We're gonna force him to help, or he's gonna score layups. And you know, he's good at taking his time and getting just backs guys up. Like getting to the block's not good enough for him. He tries to back guys into the concession stand. And, you know, it forces people to come and help, and then he either scores it, he dumps it off to John, you know, because now John's roaming around the basket free sometimes if they help, and then those other guys end up open from three, and he made really good decisions for us, and you know, kind of put him in position in that way. It took away what they were doing in our pick and rolls, so we got, you know, we kind of forced him to help in a different way. And, you know, he did a great job of really getting us going, getting us kickstarted by doing that.
We'll do two more right here and then Daniel.
Going off on what you said about John, what does the senior class overall mean to you?
You know what, they all kind of put their blind trust in me, and they didn't have to, none of them had to, and they'll always be remembered. I'll always remember these guys. I talked to them the other day about getting allies when they leave here, right? If somebody's here for 8 months, 9 months, whatever it may be, I talked about don't just leave with, I played basketball at Penn State for a year. Leave with allies. Leave with people that are gonna fight for you when you leave here, right? Leave with people that are gonna be there for you and help take care of you. That's, you know, not just basketball wise, just people in your corner, whether it's, you know, professors that you have, or people at the Morgan Academic Center that you're working with, or people that you just run into on a daily basis that you see on campus somewhere. Leave with more than just, I scored 200 points at Penn State, right? They got me for life, right? They're always gonna have me, but I'm only one man and I can only do so much. They got the rest of our staff, but leave with allies across campus, because I think Penn State people take care of them if they do the right things, if they handle themselves the right way. So, you know, I think that's important for them to do. You know, life lessons for anybody, right? For everybody that's here. Take advantage of Penn State. Take advantage of the people that are here that you run across. That you never know who's going to be in what position to be able to help you in your career. It could be a classmate of yours, or it can be one of your professors. And do it genuinely, right? Don't just do it just because you're just trying to get help. If you're genuine in terms of your pursuits, people want to help you, and they will help you. And Penn State will help you. That's something that I'm learning here, and I want these guys to take that away.
Micah, it was already an emotional night because of senior night, but then within the game, it seemed like one of the more back and forth games you guys have played this year. How did you kind of feel that your guys weathered it, even down to that last minute when it's suddenly down to a 4 game? I mean, do you see that as how this team has grown? How do you kind of look at this, I guess, big picture?
Yeah, we've kind of been in a lot of these games. Northwestern's been in a lot of these games, and they go either way quickly. You feel like you have some momentum and you build a lead, and then you look up at the scoreboard and you're like, man, we're up 3, or now it's tied, and now they're up, and it is back and forth. I think, you know, the way we try and just focus on one possession at a time. I thought our defense was really solid the entire game, even though I'm on the sideline, just I don't have hair, but pulling my imaginary hair out, with every possession that they score. And then I go back and look at the stat sheet afterwards, and I'm like, they shot 36% from the field. Like, they really struggled in terms of the shots that they took or we forced them to take. But it doesn't seem like that in a low possession game. But our guys are fighting and digging and clawing each and every possession. And then throughout the year, we've gotten better offensively as the game's going on for the most part. You know, if you go back and look at the numbers analytically, the last 10 minutes of the game is usually our best offense, because now we've had a chance to see what people do, how they're attacking it, and then we haven't really turned it over as much in that period. We kind of get tighter and tighter as the game goes on. So I think that's the product of playing those two guys with the ball in their hands, really playing like having a purpose offensively when we get late in terms of what we're trying to look for and how we're trying to attack. So you know, we played great. We moved the basketball. They shared it. Guys made big shots. We were pretty sure-handed with it. You know, didn't turn it over. But we guarded the entire night. You know, just proud of that effort.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
See everybody on